cottage style garden, I think of beautiful colors that all kind of coordinate together. I think of whimsy and no kind of pattern or structure whatsoever, just kind of randomly placed beautiful flowers growing and thriving all together. And that's exactly what I want to create right behind our house along this stone wall. So welcome to my channel. I'm Leah and I like to share all of the things that I'm doing around our farmhouse. My husband and I and our 2 kids live here on our property. We actually raise beef cattle and our home sits right in the middle of our acreage. And so when we bought this place, it was a total fixer-upper. It was really well maintained, but it just had not been updated in a really long time. So ever since we've been here, we've been doing a little bit at a time to try to get this place to where it's feeling more like home. But one of the things that I kind of put off was landscaping, and until this year, I really just hadn't done much with it, but I've been so inspired by so many different people and different gardens that I've seen to go ahead and do something about this back wall area that has been driving me crazy for as long as we've lived here. This entire area was so full of irises and lilies. They had just been growing here for years, growing and multiplying, and really it had just totally taken over this back wall. If you remember in the home reset video that I shared, you could kind of see a glimpse of this wall space before I started tearing everything out. So you can kind of see what I was talking about, but it was just really overgrown and it really wasn't full of plants that I loved. So the first thing was to dig up all of these irises, and I will tell you, this was a job, and it took me about 2 days with my helpers here to totally get them all dug up and out of this garden. Okay, so it is so hot out here. This is like a really bad time to be doing this, but kids are in the pool, and guys, anyway, the kids are in the pool, and we got this little section finished here, and all of that's dug out. I'm probably going to do some landscape paper just so that if I missed any of the roots, the landscape paper will hopefully take care of that. But I've got everything dug out. The kids were a huge help. So we left this little plant. I still can't remember the name of it. I looked it up last year and now I can't remember. And then I'm leaving my hostas because these hostas actually bloom to a pretty white. So my goal with this new space is to do blues, purple, white, and different shades of green. So I'm gonna try to have like a color scheme going on. So, can you see green? But anyway, it's getting there. We're gonna stop, we're gonna cool off and jump in the pool. But as you can see, I have a long way to go. That's why I said this is probably gonna take me a while. So, all the way down to the end, and just a minute ago, a bear ran and jumped over the fence, headed up that way because we have some woods behind our house. And so I really wish I had got that on camera, but I didn't. But it was quite the shock to see a black bear run by your side and jump the fence. And then our Pyrenees, of course, is out there barking. Anyway, it's been an eventful afternoon, but we're going to call it quits for right now on the pulling up irises, and we'll resume this project a little bit later on. When I fall and time goes slow, I fall into you. I fall into you. Hey, I wish I could show you more, 'cause baby you deserve some more. But still you're here, and that's what I adore. This area of the flower bed was way overgrown as well, and thankfully I do like most of what is in this space. There were not so many irises and lilies in this section as there were on the other side, but what was here did need to be kind of thinned out a little bit. I did end up transplanting a few of those hostas, and I put them on the opposite end of the flower garden. That way they were kind of evenly dispersed throughout the flower bed. I didn't want them to have any kind of pattern because, you know, with this being a cottage garden and all, I didn't want any kind of pattern, but I do want sort of like a consistent look as far as the colors go. And so I wanted to kind of add some of what I liked from that end over to this end that didn't really have much going on. I just could not believe how many irises I dug out of this space. There were so many. They filled up our entire garage. I got several questions on Instagram when I shared a few clips of us cleaning this flower bed out, and people were really concerned about what was going to happen to these irises, but I just wanted everybody to know that I did find them all home. So what I did was I just put a post on my Facebook page saying that, you know, we were dividing our irises and giving them away, and thankfully I was able to find new homes for all of the irises that we dug out of this flower bed. Here is a visual so you can see just how many we had to give away. So I divided them up. We put them in bags and we put some water in the bottom just to try to keep the roots wet. That way they could be transplanted to someone else's house. So this seemed to work well, and I was able to get them all cleaned out of the garage within about a day's time. Now for the fun part, and that is bringing in some new plants to this space so we can really give it that cottage look. Like I said before, I wanted to kind of stick to a color scheme. Ended up going more with purples and pinks rather than like purples and blues, but I did find some things that I really liked, and I can't wait to show you guys. Okay, so I am definitely a beginner when it comes to gardening, and especially this cottage style garden that I'm trying to achieve. So before I get started trying to figure out where I want to put all of these, I want to show you what they are because I am still learning myself. So I'm just going to kind of go around and share what the different plants are, because that way later on I can come back to this, but then I can also share it with you guys in case you like any of them and want to add them to your own garden. The salvia is one that I specifically was looking for, and I got a few of the smaller plants, and then those two, actually I got 3 of the larger ones, and the rest of them I just kind of picked out based on, you know, making sure they were perennials and then the colors that they were. So it's kind of later in the season, so I'm gonna have to kind of dig through and get some of the, you know, dead pieces off. But here's this one, and then I got 2 of those, and then let's see, down here I did get some ivy that I'm gonna mix in. I wish I could have picked up some more of this, but I felt like it was kind of expensive, so I just got the one, and it does grow pretty quickly, and so I'm hoping it'll spread pretty quick. I picked up 3 of these pretty plants, and here's the name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce all of these, so I'm just going to show you what they are so we'll both know for future reference. But I think these are so pretty. I love the color, and I can't wait to see all of the pinks and purples and whites all together. This is another plant like the one I showed you just a second ago. Right here is the tag on that one. And then this one, I was laughing because my husband said, that looks exactly like the weeds I tried to kill in the pasture. And so I just had to laugh because he's like trying to kill weeds out, and here I am buying plants. But I said it's not a weed, but then look at the name. So I don't really know what it is, but here's the tag, and I just thought it was so pretty. I love the color, and it's like a really pretty muted pink, so I think that will blend in nicely with the rest of the choices. So I got two, that one and that one, and then one more salvia plant. So I don't think this is going to be enough, but I think it's a good start. So we'll see what I come up with out of this, and then we'll go from there to see what else I want to add. Before we actually put these plants in the ground, I wanted to kind of lay everything out to see how I wanted it to look. I wanted to make sure that I had a good variation in different heights, and so that required me kind of doing some research to see how big these plants were going to grow, because my goal is for this to look really beautiful and full by next spring and summer. So I wanted to definitely be planning ahead and make sure that I get everything in the right location. So you will see that I did go ahead and put back some of the irises that I pulled up, which sounds crazy, but what happened was I had a small section of irises that were in a color that I really did love. So I had some fuchsia, pink ones, and then a really pretty color purple. And so I wanted to kind of spread those out and put a few all along the back wall. So they're kind of sporadically placed now. And I think they'll be really pretty when they hopefully come back up in the spring.
Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah,
So here we are, day 2 of finding new plants to go in the new cottage garden space. I checked out a couple of different locations this morning, and I was able to find a few more plants to add. I did go ahead and pick up a second set of the ivy just because I wasn't going to, but I saw these and they were already so pretty and established with the long trailing vines. So I did go ahead and pick up another container of the ivy. I also found 2 of these really pretty flowering shrubs. I hope they come back every year. I probably should have looked closer at the tag, but I got them for 50% off. So I figured, I couldn't really pass that up. So I'm not really sure what they are yet, so I'll have to do some research there. But here's the tag, and they are really pretty plants. And then I got 2 of those. These are Audrey's succulents that she picked out to go on her shelf. I also got 2 of these pretty flowers. This is what they look like now, but these are supposed to stay pretty and bloomed out for fall. And just look how pretty the colors are. So I hope they actually do this. But I picked up 2 of these also. These I showed you yesterday, but I grabbed 2 more today. And I don't even know where the tag is on this, but I already showed you the tag for this one. But 2 more of those. And then here's the second one of these. And then we also picked up this. So I've got 2 of these to add to our cottage garden space, to add a few more purple blooms throughout here. And then the last thing is a couple of creeping Jenny plants. Those come back every year, and for the longest time I didn't realize that, so I would like pull them up and throw them away, but they actually come back every year. So I'm hoping I can work those in with the ivy, so we have a few trailing plants along this back wall. So that's what we rounded up for today. I'm not buying any more plants, so this is it. And we will try to figure out where we want to put everything and then see how it all turns out. Now that I look at this, I think this is the same thing as the one that I already have. Actually, I'm pretty sure it is. That I was telling you guys I couldn't remember the name of it, but it's so pretty and I love it, and I don't even know how long it's been here, but I believe I just bought 2 more of these and didn't even realize I did it because it looks exactly the same. So I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. So now I think we know what it is. And again, here's the tag on that one. And I will put all of these plant names down in the description for future reference.
You take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the girl.
So I still haven't actually put anything in the ground at this point because I knew I needed a few more plants, which I picked up just this morning. And now I'm able to really get an idea of what I want it to all look like. So everything's still in the containers, but I set everything around so I can kind of get an idea. And now I'll be ready to get these plants in the ground.
Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. And I think to myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free.
I will say that this process took a lot longer than I anticipated as well. I thought most of the hard work and the time would go into pulling up those irises, but getting all these plants in the ground was definitely a big task too. It took me quite a while actually to get it all done. Sometimes looking at the time lapse, it looks like it happened in no time, but this was seriously a good half day's worth of work.
Forever, I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
Even though it is a lot of work to do something like this, especially doing this all in a short amount of time, it is so rewarding, and it's almost like therapy when you're outside, just breathing in the fresh air, digging in the dirt, playing in the plants. I enjoyed this so much. I will tell you, the inside of our house totally got neglected while I was doing all of this, so I've got my work cut out for me inside, but I really enjoyed these days of being outside all day, the kids helping me, the cows in the background. It was just a really fun few days. Even though, like I said, it was a lot of work, it was a lot of fun too. I did make sure to keep all of the tags from all the plants that I bought for this cottage garden. That way I have something to go back to so I can remember what they are, and so I can remember what I need to do to take care of them. So I did save those. I'm going to try to put together some kind of garden journal in the future. It's definitely on my to-do list. Here is a look at our finished cottage garden space. Now this cottage garden has a bit of a farmhouse twist in that we've got the fence in the background, cows in the pasture right behind the garden. Some of the plant choices are not exactly what you may find in a cottage garden normally, but I feel like it suits our farmhouse well, and the blend of all of these plants together, the purples, the pinks, the whites, the different shades of green, I'm hopeful that all of these plants will fill in nicely together and we will have a really pretty garden by next spring and summer. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you won't miss out on future videos. I do videos on cleaning, decorating, DIY, and lots of farmhouse renovating in our future, so be sure to check back. We have a lot in store. Thanks again, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye.